Today we'll be bringing more of our products to life as we meet Malik. Malik is 19, studying computer science and has a diagnosis of dyslexia with co-occurring ADHD, so ADHD as a specific learning difficulty. His course has a variety of teaching methods, including lectures, group work, lab work. And with Malik, while he enjoys the coding and the programming end of things, really struggles with the traditional essay type assignments, forgets his deadlines, is very easily distracted, and has quite poor time management as well. Students with the same diagnosis as Malik, though, may present very differently. And also, we're aware that students may present for an assessment of need at different times during the academic year. So it could be, midway through or even in their final year, and may have at times some very immediate and very specific disability related needs. So today, what we'll be doing is looking at three different scenarios for Malik and then matching his disability related needs with a range of tools from Aventido that really do support study-based success. And as I mentioned over the past few days, our tools, they don't just address one study-related need, but they can be used across several areas of study. For example, the OM system's digital recorder, that can be used to support note-taking in lectures, and it can also be used to support note-taking in a practical setting as well. And as well as that, it can be used for essays, reflective reports like Malik will need to complete, helping him to collate his thoughts. Our assistive technology as well, our each tool complements each other, so they can be recommended together and without duplication, which we're aware is a very important concern for students who are funded through Student Finance England and Student Finance Wales. I suppose an example of that might be Dragon. So Dragon could be used with the OM system digital recorder to create transcriptions and then in turn help with essay writing. But there might be some study and learning environments where Dragon might not be practical to use or might not be appropriate to use. So in that instance, something like LightKey could then be suggested with an appropriate recommendation to help with those writing tasks. So with Aventido's ecosystem of tools, it really is possible to create those person-centered recommendations, mixing and matching the solutions in line with the needs that are identified. And I suppose streamlining the AT tools to maximize their coverage across all of the different difficulties and the outcomes as well. And doing this, of course, in line with all of that funding guidance, that's very appropriate. And I tend to use this phrase a lot, but I do like to think of our AT solutions as really wrapping around the individual to support their broader study experience. So now I'll hand you over to Mary to walk you through each scenario for Malik today. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. I guess it really varies, doesn't it, with the students' attitude towards their studies, and someone who might find like Malik really slow at reading. Does it take a lot of persuasion to make them realise that the technology is going to make a difference, or are some just reluctant and they're like, no, I just think I'll just read slowly and get by?
Yeah, a lot of students, everyone is unique. It's all about that bespoke set of recommendations, isn't it? Some students are quite resistant to technology, others are not. And I suppose it's about striking that balance, not, overburdening the student when they already have difficulties with having to learn and use lots of programs. And that's why I suppose having maybe minimal applications used across multiple areas of difficulty is quite helpful. Bearing in mind as well that over recommending software, you know, all the funding bodies, particularly Student Loans Company, have issued guidance around that. I think that was in 2023, just to be careful about duplication and over recommendations. So what we're doing here, I suppose, is looking at the broad array of software that's available from us and then maximizing that usage and the outcomes of that. But yeah, you do get students who will, be a little bit resistant to technology, and that's where the demonstrations come in.
Yes, yeah, that's true. And I guess the training, yeah, just
Yeah.
really applying it to their studies specifically so they can see
Yeah.
it's going to make a
And
difference.
especially when students come with those specific needs mid, academic year when they have got a lot of essays. I find when I was assessing, starting with that need first, they've got a lot of essay planning to do, a lot of essays to write, tackling those more pressing needs initially, and then funneling down.
Yeah, so don't give up. Yeah, well, let's have a look at Malik then, and the three options depending on what specific key challenges he has. This would we don't even really find out this by asking him, but we're going to have a look at three options like we have with the other personas earlier in the week. So yeah, Malik, he reads slowly, and also makes errors in his writing, and proofreading is an issue as well. So the good news is there's loads of technology that can help with that. At Aventino, we've got text aid that's going to do the reading for him. He can follow it also to help him with his comprehension, and he can also use text aid for proofreading his own work. So that's going to be a helping hand. Now, text aid is in a number of areas of learning, so it's going to help him when he's reading for research purposes, but also proofreading his own assignments, and also reading back his lecture notes and things like that. So there's loads of reading when you're at uni. That's why they say, what subject are you reading? It's because that's a lot of what you do. So yeah, that's really going to help him. It's also, you can change the way the text looks, the documents look in text aid. So if it's like a white background and columns makes it difficult for Malik to read and focus on the words, you can use text mode to change that. And you can also highlight important bits with text aid and extract those, make notes on documents as well to help him with his memory difficulties. So his comprehension will be also affected if he has memory difficulties as well. So that's with text aid, but also when he's writing essays, mind maps is really going to help him. It's mind mapping, so he can plan his whole essay in a mind map so he can see visually what it's going to look like, make sure he's sequencing the essay appropriately, and that's going to boost his confidence and make him feel more motivated to get on and write it because he can see it very visually. Being dyslexic, he won't want a whole page of text to be trying to plan from. A visual mind map is going to be helpful. Another really useful tool is, of course, using Dragon, because then he doesn't have to be thinking about how to spell the words, how to structure the sentences, and it's going to be quicker. He's going to be much quicker at getting his thoughts down into that essay using Dragon. He can talk, and it can do all the writing and spelling for him using Dragon. Now, Michelle did mention about Likey as well. He could use Likey as well if he thought that was going to be helpful, especially because he might be doing some writing when in a room with other people, and then he might not want to be using Dragon to do the writing. He might want to be typing, and Likey's going to suggest the words for him and also help him with the spelling and grammar side of things, but it's a lot to do with the composition, which he does find difficult, those structuring of sentences and things like that. And overwhelm will be reduced by using these tools. And also ProStudy is going to help him too. ProStudy, he can collect everything because he's got memory difficulties. Everything will be all in one place. Everything he's looked at and highlighted text and pictures, even videos. They will all be all in his post-study project, and it can be color coded, and it can also simplify websites by creating tiles of bite-sized pieces of information to read, so he's not overwhelmed, because he does find it difficult to read long pieces of text and breaking down. Look, he finds it difficult to break down long assignments. He will also find it difficult to read long pieces of text too, I would imagine. So yeah, ProStudy is going to be a helping hand there. Let's move on to option B. So A is if it was specifically the reading and writing side of things, but he also, and imagine Malik is maybe someone who leaves his revision and his writing of assignments really last minute because he's just not organized. So he needs some tech. help him with that. And this is really quite simple. We use Learnable to upload the content that he needs to learn. Then he won't have to just read notes to learn it. Learnable provides many different styles of learning, which will be really suitable for Malik with his challenges. He'll be able to use flashcards, he'll be able to fill in the blanks in a piece of text. He'll be able to talk and or type, talk or type for a minute about a topic. He'll probably be talking because of his dyslexia, but there's loads of different styles of learning in Learnable. That's going to be really useful for him. And then with the planning and not being very organized, you can use MindMeister and MeisterTask together because they're like sister products. They're made by Meister and you can use them together. So you can create a mind map, maybe for revision, maybe for planning an essay, like I was mentioning earlier. And then he can add tasks from his mind map into MeisterTasks, and then those tasks can be added to his calendar, so he's all organised and is prompted to do the work that he needs to do. So he's going to be much more organised and therefore more feeling like he's going to achieve success on his course. So that's for planning and tasks, helping him with that, with Learnable, MeisterTask, MindMeister. And the third option is if it was the note-taking side of things and recall. That's tricky. Yeah, if you're dyslexic, note-taking is going to be a challenge, isn't it? And you need to do something in lectures. No good just sitting and listening. There is a lot of assistive technology that helps with this, but it would all depend on what works for Malik. Ivy is a sound to mind map technology. He will be able to press record in his lectures and Ivy will create a mind map from the content of the lecture. So he's going to split up the lecture into the key concepts, and then he can look at the big picture and the main concepts and then go into the detail if he needs to look into that a bit more. He can listen back to parts of the lecture, edit it, and really use that content to help with his learning. So that's Ivy. He can also use TextAid, mentioned earlier. He can use a highlighting tool while he's listening to content and highlight just those key bits. And then he won't have to reread the entire document again. He can just look at the extracted parts and learn from there. That'd be really good for revision and just general learning using TextAid. And the OM system is I pretty have one. Yeah, this is it. It used to be called Olympus. It's a sound recorder, and this he can record his lectures on here. Also seminars and workshops. He goes to those as well, and labs. He can record his own voice as a reminder of things he needs to remember, but also recording lectures. You can then listen back to them. That's going to help him as well. So that's the OM system. And that, I think we've kept the time better today, Michelle. That's Malik. He has ADHD and dyslexia, which causes many challenges with his university work, note-taking, reading and writing, and also being organised and planning, that side of things. So there is a nice menu of assistive technology that he could use really effectively and easily. I think these technologies are easy to learn, but he would also, of course, really benefit from having some AT training as well, some time with a trainer to learn about it all. So, and I think he'd pick it up really quickly because he's a tech person, isn't he? He's studying computer science, so he's already going to be into technology. So he's probably going to be, on the ball with taking all this tech and using it for his benefit of learning. So that's it. Day 4 done.